welcome to this week's show. Hope you've been checking in on the last few episodes. Had some good ones, good times. We were just sitting here because the NFL draft is going on right now, and the Bears just took Fields. So Rye's a little red schnozzed about it.
I got a big.
People don't give a shit either about it. So.
Yeah, you're right, Jay.
That's a good point.
But we got a couple of good things we want to talk about this week. First thing, the new Mortal Kombat movie came out. Did I say that weird? Mortal Kombat movie that came out. Was that last week it came out?
I think it came out
really
like
sure.
the 16th of April, to be honest.
Yeah. It's been, so it came out. Heard some good things. We all were Mortal Kombat fans. Dodge is probably the person that we all know that plays probably the most Mortal Kombat and is the most impressive. If you have not watched him, you should check. Dodge, I enjoy when you stream MK.
And lose.
I don't, dude. No, it doesn't matter though, because I'll tell you what, Mortal Kombat for me, I loved Mortal Kombat growing up, but it was button smash for me most of the time. You know, when I was a kid, it was just, you knew the get over here with Scorpion, and like that's all you needed.
Actually, you just needed the ice ball from Sub-Zero. But
I mean that too, same thing, right?
No.
So yeah, we've all but Dodge watching you stream Mortal Kombat is a joy, because even the people that you face are impressive with the way they do things. It's just a lot of fun. It's good.
People do crazy shit.
Yeah. So we said last week that we were gonna give you a couple of reviews on the Mortal Kombat movie and how it kind of made you if you hit the nostalgia bone or not. We were just kind of curious about that. I have not watched it yet. I know Jay, you haven't seen it yet, but Rye, Dodge, you guys have both seen it. Rye, we'll start with you. What did you think of the movie? Did it hit the good spots for you?
So totally hit the good spots for me. I'll be honest with you. I think on the last episode, we were talking about Annihilation, like the second Mortal Kombat movie created. We were all in agreement that was just terrible. And we were wondering where Raiden went and all this and whatever. I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to spoil anything for you or maybe any of the listeners, viewers that are watching, but that first fight sequence, like right when the movie opens up, just fucking sucks you so in. It's insane. I mean, it was so well done. I think cinematography wise, great. I think for me, what I was missing in the first two Mortal Kombats was, and Dodge and I talked about this kind of off stream, off recording, is I never knew the backstory on any of these guys. And the movie provides you with the backstory of Scorpion, Sub-Zero, which are the two the primary characters in the film. And that's not really a spoiler, but I didn't know the backstory, and they tell you all of that. And so I was just nerded out, just totally geeking. So I enjoyed it. They've already talked about a sequel, and I'm ready to go. Talking about Ryan Reynolds being Johnny Cage. Bring it on, baby.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
Yes, I read that earlier today as well.
Oh, bring it on, baby.
So, well, when you were watching it then, Dodge, so I didn't know that. I had an inclination that they were going to be Sub-Zero and Scorpion centered because of just the cover. But I guess, Dodge, do the games really give it a backstory? I mean, since you've played all of them, do they have a story mode that aligned with it? Or is this something that they're kind of drumming up for maybe have a new movie kind of series that they're going to come out with?
I think it's kind of like, it is strange because MK has kind of so many storylines they kind of do run with. You know, every character kind of has their own ending and stuff. As far as some of these background stories as to like where these characters have come from, like a lot of that is in the games. It's just like they're in the endings. You know, you got to like find it kind of. But there's very interesting things like, now this perhaps something maybe I've obviously missed, maybe a lot of people have missed, maybe this is something they did for the movie, but like the fact that Scorpion, I believe, was Chinese and Sub-Zero was Japanese. Like they had a difference in ethnicity there, like which I thought was cool, you know, and I was like interesting, you know, like there are these rivals, type things. And but no, there's a lot
I
of things
never knew
they
that,
did.
Dodge. Thanks for spoiling.
Well, that's not real. I mean, I don't think that's come on. All right, maybe I'm talking too much about it.
No,
I thought
you're
the
not.
movie was awesome, and it's it's gory, and it's kind of this new age, take on this series that is kind of grown with a generation and within a lot of just the world, whatever. So yeah, it's cool.
Well, I off topic here, but I feel like I need to announce this every time if we're recording and this occurs. It feels right, and I want to make sure that from this moment on, when this happens, I'm going to announce it. Clyde just logged on to a game on my computer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, let's see what Clyde's playing here.
What's Clyde playing?
I don't know. Oh, something with the king. We the king or something like that.
So
Well,
when
what do you do?
Well, when I was going through the next game that I wanted to play, when I was talking to you all about, Escape from Tarkov and some of these other games, I threw it out to Clyde because I knew he was getting into PC gaming, and he shut me down immediately. Matter of fact, I'm going to try and find his exact text because it was absolutely hysterical. But I was like, Clyde, why don't you, I was, him and I have been talking about gaming, and I was like, man, I was like, have you ever heard of Escape from Tarkov? I was like, I knew he was into survival games. Dodge, this, like not The Last of Us, The Last of Us, but what's the zombie game? On Xbox.
Dead Rising?
Dead Rising. So
Rising.
survival, I knew he was into that sort of, style of game. He goes, looks like same old first-person shooter, not my type of game. Just totally cut me off. Totally crushed my right away. That's his exact text message. I just searched it right now. Just totally, absolutely crushed me. And I was like,
doesn't even want to.
No, doesn't even want to entertain. Doesn't even want to ask me about it. Like, nah, it looks like a first-person shooter. I'm not into that. Okay. All right.
He never was. Never was.
Looks like you're getting $5 in the wedding card.
Well, that's funny. Well, I was just, I feel like gaming with Clyde was just, he's a part of it. He's here in spirit all the time.
All the time. Absolutely.
And I think when that happens, I'm just going to go ahead and announce it,
That's fine. That's completely
so we also have been playing, we've been doing a game challenge where we have kind of challenged one of us on a different type of game, something that we think that they're going to enjoy. And I'm currently playing Horizon Zero Dawn, and Maish, you are playing Mass Effect, the first one, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
First one.
So right, Mass Effect, you were pretty against playing this one. You've been calling it baby game for years.
No, why?
Where are you at? How far are you in? And are you enjoying it?
So I'm 15 hours in. I did buy the 3-pack prior to, yes, I guess I'm going to say I knew that a freaking game or the remakes were coming out. Whatever, you guys told me that was it. I don't know. What are we looking at right now, Jay? What is this? For the King?
Yeah.
Is this what Clyde's playing?
This is total baby games. Right,
is that what he's playing though? I think that's what he's playing.
Yeah.
All right. So Mass Effect was the game that I was given. I'm 15 hours into the game. Jay and I had this Jay, you're vertical, kind of sideways right now. Just so you know. You got to do the jiggle mahula gal. Yep. 15 hours in. So I don't know. Honestly, I think I told you all I thought I would find the moment in which when I played it before where I just stopped and was like, no, this game's not for me. Haven't found that portion yet, but I know I'm further than I've ever been in the game than when I first started playing. So I can tell you right now, gameplay, obviously, I mean, we're talking a game that's almost 15 years old. it like that doesn't hold up. Like the graphics, you can totally tell. But I'm gonna tell you right now, Jay and I were talking offline. We were talking yesterday. The story totally holds up. I think what I'm intrigued about with this game is they do just enough during each mission to just be like, okay, I gotta fucking do another mission because I gotta figure out what's going on. So I think they do a really good job of storytelling. And I'm a big story guy, so I'm sucked in at the moment. Once I'm done with the game, once I'm done with this game, I'm gonna get into some of the critiques that I have, but it's totally because of in which the year it was created and the technology behind it. But there's some hysterical things in that, but we'll do that after I finish the game. But so far, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, there's some crazy shit that happens when you're playing Mass. Yeah, okay.
But it's funny that you say that about the way the missions are, because I feel like the books that I like to read are the ones with like shorter chapters and a lot of pictures. I need a lot of pictures. But like the really short written chapters where you're almost kind of like leaves you kind of bouncing from scene to scene quicker sometimes. Like sometimes a story like begs for that, I'm reading Jurassic Park right now, and the chapters are good length. Like it makes me want to keep reading. So it makes sense for Mass to do something like that with their missions. I think that's cool.
Wait, you're reading Jurassic Park? So Michael Crichton is the author? Have you gotten to the part, have you been able to read the visual of when the guy gets eaten off of the toilet by the T-Rex?
I mean, I just finished that part a couple days ago. Like I just got to the part today where the Jeep falls into the tree. But he's not, he's not sitting on a toilet in the book.
Oh, Jay.
I don't think he's sitting.
How do you think about that? I'm sorry to change gears, but like, I'm just curious.
No, that's fine. Well, because you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I didn't even think about that when I was reading it, and now I don't think he was on the toilet.
There's no line of like Ian of saying,
when you
gotta go.
Nope. No,
that's Spielberg. Then
sorry,
that's
no, that is. But I'll tell you what. The book and the movie are pretty parallel.
I'll give you another little nugget of info. Spielberg,
well,
but he really is.
This is very true.
I don't know, but anyway, yeah. So it's when we're looking at those missions for Mass, I think that's cool because like it paces well. It paces well. It gives you a lot of moments to stop as well. Because sometimes I play a game where I start a next chapter and I'm like, all right, I gotta hunker down for the next 2 hours to get through this because the chapters are crazy long and I don't know when there's checkpoints or save points. It's tough sometimes to be able to do that. So I dig that. That's cool. Yeah. Dodge, do you remember that as well as like a draw for you in the story?
Yeah, with Mass Effect, it's really cool because I was just recalling like it has really amazing pace because of the storytelling and because of the decision making that it forces you to do and go through, and the all the characters that you're meeting because you're building this team, throughout the whole campaign. And actually what's funny is the pacing is amazing and you feel the tension when like you're going to feel the tension eventually, Maish. And it's like, it's awesome because you're going to know when you're heading into something very climactic and you're going to be like, okay, you're like, here we go. Like,
do you know,
be a few checkpoints.
Do you know what the worst thing in the fucking game is?
What's that?
Is when you die. That
oh my god, the death music.
I hate the death music.
Especially if you're in a heated battle and you feel like you should have won that, and it does that shit too.
Oh my god,
they made one of those annoying death screens. Yeah.
You played it, right, Jay?
What?
You played Mass. Did you?
It's my favorite game.
Yeah, I know. So is the soundtrack good too, though?
Oh yeah, the soundtrack is great. I think it's better than whatever Rye thinks is best.
We were talking about that. Oh, come on. You have them both on your phone. You've listened to them both.
Yeah, the Mass one is better. Well, maybe. Yeah, probably not.
So is there a different soundtrack?
Deus Ex is better. Yeah, I have Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 soundtracks. I think the third is the best. But I could be wrong.
Interesting.
So
because that's one of those games where people like buy the album. Yeah. Like I've read that before about like the soundtrack of those games is like album-esque kind of thing. So they'll buy like the soundtrack to it.
I'm with you because the soundtrack totally aligns with the visuals in Mass Effect. So it totally gets you into the game. Now, I'll say being 2007, I think that it's not very a diverse soundtrack, right? I think that it's repetitive in most cases. But as Jay's told me, as you progress into Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3, it says everything gets exponentially better as you get in there. So I'm excited. But overall, I'm super pleased. So, but what about you, Rye?
Well, so I think that's what I'm missing with this game, with Horizon Zero Dawn. It's cool. The mechanics are cool. Like the concept so far is good. I'm like 7 hours in, I think, something like that. So I haven't really, I guess, caught on to the story just yet. I mean, I know I'm this character that has grown up in like it clearly way in the future so far that like it's almost like humans have reset, and I'm this Native American person that's training. I'm growing older, and I got this little thing that it's like a robot thing that I can stick to the side of my head, and it opens up like this digital world that allows me to see different things and tracks and things like that. So it's kind of got some cool stuff with that. The fighting is, I haven't quite decided if I like it. I mean, I like using the bow and arrow. It's awesome. It's satisfying to shoot the bow and arrow, but I feel like, okay, so the way the enemies move, they're in like a set path. So there's these machines with these lights, and if you're in the light for too long, they see you and they come and attack you. And so it kind of has that feeling of Metal Gear Solid where you can like distract them and you like hide in the bushes, and then you can get like a stealth kill. But it's almost too easy because I just unlocked something that allows me to whistle, so I can like draw them to me and then do this silent kill. So I'm worried that the fighting is going to get a little repetitive and boring because it's not any skill. I purposefully use the bow and arrow just so that I feel like I'm moving around and like dodging something. Otherwise I could just, because I can highlight them and it shows me their track even. And I'm playing on, I want to emphasize this, I'm playing on very hard. There's only one, there's like medium, hard, very hard, extreme. And I moved it down from, they started on medium and I moved it down to extremely hard to start it with. So I'm playing at what I think should be a difficult level, but haven't died once, haven't even come close. I'm hoping like it gets a little more difficult.
Well,
and I'm okay with it being easy right now because I'm learning the buttons still essentially, but I do want something to draw me in, a story or something that just hasn't happened yet. The dialogue is kind of like one note. It just feels
blasé.
I don't know. It's just there's nothing to it, and then it gets you to want to maybe speed the talking along kind of thing. I'm like, all right, it's just not.
Well, maybe you're in the prologue of the game, maybe still.
No, I probably still am because I'm still like unlocking things, and I just learned how to upgrade my bow. I'm definitely doing things, and I'm hoping that it kind of makes me want to use it. You know what I mean?
So
there's nothing worse than leveling up a character and then not only using one of the abilities that they have.
Oh, sure.
Because it's so good, it's
so good.
Yeah. So I'm hoping though it's cool.
I guess that would be my one drawback right now with Mass Effect is, and Jay and I talked about this too. Is I don't think they did a good job of how you utilize your team that you go into battle with. They don't allow you, at least in the first one, many areas of where you really utilize your team to the benefit. to your benefit, right? Like I'm always caught in these situations where like I go to select them to go and try and do something. They're like, I can't see or I can't get a lock. And I'm like, well, you just fucking stay there and let fucking John Shepard take care of the work here. All right. Cause that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
And I destroy everything. So I think
Yeah.
that feature is like almost like a vanity feature. Like, oh yeah, that's kind of cool that you could do that, but it doesn't add anything to the game. Cause literally you don't need them at all whatsoever. You could just play as John Shepard and at least, again, I'm only 15 hours into the game. Maybe it comes into play later on down the line, but I've never needed them one time. As a matter of fact, every battle that I go into, because I don't maneuver them, they all die, and then I wind up doing all the work anyway. So that is my knock right now, is that's a shitty feature in the first Mass Effect.
Well, I remember watching Dodge utilize those guys, so maybe that's something that changes or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely changes. It gets better,
Okay.
for sure. Because I think I remember a lot in the first one. There's just like areas where they get stuck, or they just think
The
they can't go
mechanics,
somewhere
the
where you want them to
AI,
move.
I guess the AI isn't very good. Jay and I talked about this.
Yeah.
And
There's definitely moments where like they'll do some of their like specials and it helps out. Like Rex will do some stuff eventually where he's like, you'll see him go shotgun blast someone and you're like, okay, cool. Or like he'll charge the Geth, I feel like, a lot. And then like Garrus, if you get him eventually, I've
got all the characters.
Spoiling. Oh, you got all the
I have
characters?
every
like,
single character.
like he does some cool sniping stuff. Or maybe I'm even thinking of 2 or 3 when they get more of their own kind of like special abilities.
Ding, ding,
But-
ding. You might be, because I was just going to say, that's one of the coolest things in the game is when you tell Rex to go bulldoze some dudes, and then he goes over there and just starts blasting.
Yeah,
Like,
so maybe that
it
is like in
helps a
2
lot.
or 3. Yeah, they
Yeah,
have
it
like
could be 2 or
specific.
3.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you'll start leveling them up specifically. I think in 1 maybe you do too, but it's all kind of more general trees, I feel like, or something like that. But
Yeah.
they kind of have some character specific things, but
Yeah.
it gets
Speaking
way
of-
more
It gets
focused.
way more better.
2 and
Yeah,
3.
it gets,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because
Cool.
even like there's
'Cause-
tons of stuff like the inventory in Mass Effect 2 is like, yeah, it's like crazy. in
And
the
I
first one.
can't wait to play it on my new the new remaster. On my new Xbox. Oh,
So I know we've been on this for a minute, but I do have to ask this because we've been on this for a minute, which is fine. It's whatever. It's good. I want to know though, why hasn't there been more companies try to mimic the Mass Effect gameplay to make a game? Because it feels like the game I'm playing right now, it's fun. I'm enjoying it. Like, it's not like I don't want to play it. It's a good time, but I feel like I've played it before. And like, I haven't played Mass yet. I haven't played any of the Mass Effects, but I've watched Dodge and Cody and everybody play them, and they look awesome. And it's almost like, why hasn't there been another game that's mimicked that play style?
Well,
Because
I would argue that there
it's what-
has. Deus Ex is kind of very similar. Outside of, the team, and there's some very cool features of Mass Effect. There's no doubt that I think are unique to the game. But I think that storyline where you control the dialogue, you can control whether you want to be a badass or you want to be a goody two shoes, or I don't even know what the term. They have terms in
Clem
Mass Effect.
Cadiddlehopper.
Clem Cadiddlehopper. There are games like that, though. I mean, I think, but yeah, I don't know, Rye. You're right, though. I mean, Mass Effect does have a.
It's the only time I've seen that type of, like, the perfected. I know it's perfected, but it is what it is. I don't know, just something to think about.
I think it's the story.
Yeah, it's just that good that even though there are games like it, it's so historic that the other ones just don't even give it justice, kind of thing. No, I get that.
Yeah.
Well, we wanted one of our topics we wanted to talk about today was just kind of, we were talking about Mortal Kombat earlier and how that was we were talking about it off air, and we were just, that was such a controversial game that came out at that time. I remember when it came out, playing it. I don't remember if my cousin had it or I was able to rent it or something, but I just remember playing it and my parents saying, no, you cannot play this. It's too bloody. and that was the first Mortal Kombat on Sega. It would have been on Sega for me. So it was kind of crazy, and at that was one of the first times in my life anyway where something was controversial when it comes to a video game.
Yeah.
And it was a big deal. Dodge, I know you've played all of them, and I know the gore is a part of the allure and why you do that, because it's unique. But do you remember that moment when you were a kid too? Like, it was like, holy cow, there's blood and a lot of it too. You could rip his head off. Like, it was.
Yeah. No, I had a grade school friend that, like I would go to his house afterward, and he had kind of more games that I didn't have at home. So that was kind of one of my first Mortal Kombat experiences, was playing it there. And of course, now, like you said, like the gore, was kind of always part of it, and allure, and just these cool characters. They seem really cool and stuff. But and like now the gore is just through the roof. It's just crazy. Shit.
I mean, it's crazy. Jay, do you remember your first controversial game? Was it MK like us, or was it a one later?
I'll tell you what, I don't ever recall a controversial game. I think it's all just a game. I don't even look at it that way. I think it's just a game. I don't even see the difference. I don't see the difference between GTA, Destiny, Mortal Kombat, Pac-Man. It's all the same. It's just a game.
Yeah,
so,
but is that?
That's a good. That's a good perspective.
What?
I mean, it's true. It is all just a game.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I end it right there. I just don't need to go any further.
Like,
it's a game.
No, I get you. I get that. I don't know. I get that. I do. I don't know if it was. I mean, when I say controversial, I just mean like.
Because I remember the news report for MK.
Like, is there a line?
Yeah, like, should we be letting our children play this?
Remember, like whatever earlier.
I mean, it didn't affect me. I've never been in a fight before in my life. Like, I've never needed to do that. So it's not like it influenced, or I was ever afraid of it influencing me or anything like that. But I just remember, like,
it was GTA. There was buzz around
GTA. Okay, because I was gonna say, I mean, either way, whether you're like it affects you or not, it was still something that was brought up, and that first GTA was gnarly too. I remember. I mean,
I remember it being, I don't ever
You're just
remember
murdering people.
Well, right. You're exactly right. But I don't ever remember it being. It hit the mainstream for like a split second, but then it became amongst, like, I feel like parent groups and just like, oh, I'm not gonna let my kids play, GTA or whatever, right? Well, I mean, but it hit the national scene, like, real quick. And then I think, like I said, it was left to the parents. But it's good that we're on this topic, because there's a game coming out that it looks freaking awesome. It's called 6 Days in Fallujah, and it's a first-person shooter, online multiplayer. Nope, he's done. See you later. Get him out. Whatever. By the way, New England Patriots just picked up Mac Jones. Fuck the Bears. Excuse me. But 6 Days in Fallujah game coming out. So it's a military first-person shooter game that is based on a operation that the U.S. military went in during the Iraq War during 2004, where the game developers sat down with a handful of Marines that actually went in and executed actual operations in Iraq during the Iraq War. And so they built an entire game based on the testimony of these Marines. And they developed this game based around what they were experiencing. And now it has continuously been delayed after delay after delayed on its release date, on when it's going to be released to the public. It was supposed to be released when the new Call of Duty came out back last year, and it just kept getting delayed and delayed and delayed. And the big spat about it is that people feel that it is insensitive that they should put out a video game that is based on an actual event. Well, I think that that's fucking bullshit, because how many video games have we played? Take Call of Duty, for instance. They got their entire franchise started on the fact on World War II. I mean, that's how they got their gameplay started, was on that war, which was an actual event. So the big spat on it is is that, oh, you know, this was an event that happened in the Iraq War, and that the fact that you're using, you know, military and their experience to build this game, that's so controversial that we shouldn't allow this game to be released. So it's been delayed. So what's your thoughts on that?
See, to me, I see this as to me, like, I get it. I understand where they're coming from. It doesn't necessarily bother me or anything like that, but what I think this has, like, what bigger picture this has, is I think this is the step before we do a virtual reality where it's like live kind of feel, where you can, you know, I don't know, like I've watched the movie Ready Player One recently, and that idea of being in a fake world most of the day because it's your escape kind of thing. I think in order for that to happen, which to me is, I mean, not in the near future, but I feel like that's getting closer and closer, and you have to feel what it's like to have real life events being played out in a digital world.
Well,
Game makers and developers, that's their step. That's the big step. That's the Facebook of video gaming, where you're just in a world and you can play whatever you want, whenever you want. Your character is who you want it to be, and you can level them up, and you have money, and when you die, you have to start over. Like this fully buy-in to yourself, not in reality. And I think that in order to get to that, you have to have games that mimic real life events just to see how humans react to them.
I buy that. I buy what you were talking about there. Obviously,
if you just put that in the world, could you imagine if we all of a sudden were like, oh yeah, go buy this virtual world, $2,000. You know how many people would go and buy it? Like,
yeah.
And it would be crazy, and we wouldn't handle it. We couldn't handle that.
And none of us have obviously played, you know, 6 Day Fallujah. It's not out yet, but I also think if the game developers are smart, there's a message behind it that they're maybe redeveloping to maybe have some positive reinforcement behind the game, which is, to your point, people are going to go and buy this game because they're just interested in it, whether it's because it's an actual piece of society or whether it's just a war game that's coming out that people are going to be drawn into. Like, if the game developers take a stance that, like, okay, we're going to take the position that we're going to put out a game that we hope obviously entertains, because that's what it is, it's entertainment, but it also reinforces the message of, like, this is what our troops do for us on a day-to-day basis to keep us free, as kind of like an undertone of, like, hey,
it might jazz some kids up to, like, join the military and, like, get a career, something that maybe they have
never.
So
I think it's kind of stupid that my stance on it is, I think it's freaking stupid that they're blowing this game up because it's being insensitive to our military, and how dare shall we, you know, allow Marines that actually executed operations within this, in which the game is based around, to build a game for people to play for entertainment. I just think it's fucking stupid. I mean, it's hypocritical is what it is. I mean, that's what it is, and that's what pisses me off.
When I remember, though, I mean, there is the other side of it. Like, Dodge, you and I both remember what that was like, and Jay, you were just talking. Well, Jay, you were talking about this earlier too. Is what Call of Duty was that, where you played a moment where you were, was it Russian? I can't remember what, I think it was Russian.
I can't, were they? Yeah.
And you were walking through the airport. Yep, 6 of you or something. And you just walking through the airport, just opening fire on whoever you wanted. You didn't have to fire one time if you didn't want to, but you were just slow walking through the airport. Families were running away from you and things like that. It was, I remember feeling gross after.
Very brutal moment.
I didn't like it. Jay, that didn't bother you at least a little?
No.
But I get his stance. I get his stance. Really.
I mean, it doesn't bother me that I'm.
Yeah, I think it might have. I just don't remember for sure if it did, but I'm pretty sure it did a little bit.
I mean, it felt weird. It did. Yeah. I mean, I'm not like fantasizing about it or anything like that, but it's like, it just was weird.
Yeah, no.
It just was weird. But those were like the real controversy. We have a couple other ones that, like, I remember the God of War. I can't remember what number that was. Was it 3?
I think it might have. I thought it might have been 1 or 2. I thought it was pretty early. I think 1 you do that.
Yeah, it could have been 1.
For God of War?
Yeah.
Were you manipulated the sex scene?
Yeah.
And
It
like,
might have 1. Yeah.
it was like a button combo, and you like got it on. Was it 2? I think it was a threesome with
Maybe.
2 chicks.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, it was definitely that.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, I remember sitting in Cody's basement going like,
Yeah, what is going on? Like,
it's telling me to hit X, and it's like X.
Legit.
And
Twirl the
claps happen.
Yeah, I was down with that.
Throw that in the spank bank
But
for
I
later.
mean, that was fine. But back on Call of Duty, I cannot wait for the next one. But because you started with the war, right? With the war and base. The next Call of Duty is supposed to be World War II again, and if they can remimic the actual battle names and put that in the game, and if multiplayer maps, and they have been in the past, are based on, I'm all for it, so I can blast those Nazis, And I'll challenge anyone to a World War II history contest. Okay, I don't care. Anyway.
Duke. I will say, and I want to say this while we're recording, because I want to remember that. I want to bring that up one time, and I want to talk about what happened to, like, why haven't we used things like that to be more educational for all of us?
Yeah.
Like the actual battle names. I think that like something basic like that, and with accurate dates and locations, and like why not? Like why not? It's already celebrate. Like we should. That's I don't know. That's like a no-brainer to me anyway. That's another. I just wanted to say that because I think that would be fun to discuss. But we've had a few of those controversial ones. There's some other minor ones. What was Leisure Suit Larry? Was like you were like a pimp.
Yeah. I guess not a pimp. Yeah, I looked it up. I mean,
but no, there was a version
chasing after women. But yeah, maybe I don't know. I remember a very old computer version of it, and I mean, it's not good. I mean, you're trying to get sex from women. Like, what
do you remember like the first was more? I guess I was sitting here thinking about it. I don't think Mortal Kombat was the first blood game that I played. There was a computer game.
Yeah, I don't know.
That it was like you just had the cannon that moved across the screen like this, and it fired. And there's army guys that umbrella down, and you got.
Oh my God! What was that? Yes.
And they would land, and then they would come and beat your base, and like you would hit them in the air, and it would just be like a little splat of red. And I remember going like, oh.
Oh, what was that?
I don't remember.
We gotta
what it was
figure
called,
the name of that.
I remember that was a computer game that we had. It was a floppy disk, and you stick that sucker in there. Oh yeah, good times.
Think of that. But yeah, I mean, controversial GTA. Did we talk about that?
GTA? Yeah, no, like GTA 5. Well, that's something. It just feels like it's, for me anyway. It's like we don't even really think about that one anymore. It's almost expected. And the last one, GTA 5, you can do some pretty weird stuff. I remember like the spank teddy bear of one of the characters, and
and I guess
stuff.
And I guess the whole why we brought up the controversial thing is because of this 6 Days in Fallujah. It floored me when I read this article of why they're delaying this game, because they're afraid of public backlash on, for whatever reason. But nobody could really give an instance of like why they feel slighted, other than the fact that you're being insensitive to these Marines. Well, they've interviewed these Marines, and they're like, hold on. They were like, no, hold on. We agreed to this because we want our story told. In the same way, Saving Private Ryan or movies and documentaries get made, it's this living memory of this battle. And if these people agreed to do it, I just don't see the harm. And I don't know. I just think it's kind of silly,
Yeah.
Well, it's silly.
We were also talking about the other day. We wanted to mention I came across this kind of funny article about movie adaptations to games, and it's kind of an interesting list, and I wanted to share it tonight because I think you guys are going to enjoy this. So this is a list of like movies that deserve video game adaptations, because Mortal Kombat, you guys seem to like the new one. The original one has nostalgia feeling to it. You know, it's cool. There's been a lot of games that have tried to make the jump to a movie. A lot of those games or movies kind of hit the mark or miss the mark. I mean, they're not great.
So are these movies making a game or games being made into movies?
These ones are movies that should be games.
Oh, I see. If we could just do a quick reversal real quick.
That doesn't work either a lot of the time.
Alan Wake should be a movie. Just throw it out there.
Okay.
Agreed.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
That's kind of
Heavy Rain should be a movie.
Agreed.
I agree 100%. Yeah, I agree 100%.
The Origami Killer, that was
such a great
game. Best story game I've ever played. It was awesome.
100% agree with you.
And there's like so many awesome endings too. I think you get a trophy for those 10 different endings, and I think I got all but one.
God.
And they're awesome. Every single one of them was I put so many hours in that game because it was just,
I remember.
It's awesome.
Devil May Cry should be a movie. I think that could be done so well.
Creed should be a movie.
They made a movie, didn't they?
They did make a movie.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it wasn't very good.
Yeah, it was lame.
And Prince of Persia.
Prince of Persia too. Yeah. No, but so these are like movies that I think if we sit and I want to discuss a couple of them. Okay. So if there's one that makes you go, I wonder what that would be like. I kind of think I've already kind of thought about some of these, and I want to highlight a couple of them. So these are movies that should be video games. The Mask.
No.
They say, like, I thought about this, like a Batman Arkham kind of, and it says in the writing, it says like you can put different masks on and be different, like have different abilities with your different face and mask, because he changes shape so many different times.
Here's why I say no. It should have been done when Sega and NES, not the new system.
I know, but okay, but still, like you could make a pretty. My argument is a pretty cool adapted. That would be a cool one to redo.
That's fair.
I mean, with some thought, you
think about the big hammer he had, and you could throw these little alarm clocks, and like
you could drive around town in that shitty old car, or I guess maybe it would transform into something else.
You can even have the story with Stanley Ipkiss, where you're
what a great
the daytime Stanley Ipkiss.
What a great character name.
Yeah. So I don't know. I thought that was kind of cool. So
all right.
Once I read the first one, I was like, "Give me Cameron Diaz." Yeah.
Let's go.
This one I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know. But a movie called Undisputed, and they want to make it kind of like a Mortal Kombat style. Yeah, it didn't. And I thought they made a game on this one, but Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift. Nah, I feel like they made some of those Need for Speed games, or not Need for Speed. Yeah, there's other ones, but this one I couldn't figure out what kind of game this would be, but so I'm kind of curious what you guys.
Speed.
Oh wait, sorry. What was it?
Speed with Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock.
Oh wow, interesting.
Could you make that into a game? Like, what kind of game would that be? I don't know.
It'd be a good game.
Give
me a John Wick game, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
Keep going. I'm gonna take a leak.
Yeah, you do that.
What are
John Wick game?
Go ahead, Judge.
Well, what are you on the bus the whole time for a speed game? What are we?
Yeah, what are you doing here? I think it would be fun. No, it's easy. You got Dennis Hopper.
Do you want me to read what it says? Do you want me to read what it says?
Man.
Yeah, what is it?
It says, here's another movie that has the word video game written all over it. The Keanu Reeves classic Speed is about an extortionist setting up situations in order to gain money. This could be a cinematic style game with choices that'll explore all possible storylines. So it's more like a Heavy Rain.
So it's more like a Heavy Rain kind
That's the vibe I just got. And you play the person and you try to extort money from people. And like when you're successful,
I've got a great idea for a game.
That's kind of cool. This one I'm saving till the end. I have the creme de la creme.
Do you know what would be a good
beat
movie?
That already. I know
good
one
game.
Beat that already.
What is it?
All right.
Go ahead.
You want to hear it?
Go ahead.
You take John Wick, right? Keanu. You drop him into Batman's world, aka Ben Affleck, and have them battle after Catwoman, Halle Berry. You know? Or maybe that'll be a movie.
Yeah, I think
John Wick, Batman cross for Catwoman.
Yeah. For Halle Berry Catwoman, just not
Yeah,
Catwoman.
that's true.
It's not
what
just a
fantasy
Catwoman.
are we in here? Man.
I mean, what are we doing?
What are we doing? Well, okay, movie to be
By
a
the
good.
way, it's really easy to see why the Bears took freaking Justin Fields. They're looking for the next freaking KC QB, freaking old
Patrick
Russell.
Mahomie.
They're looking for another Mahomes or another Russell, not another freaking Peyton
You
Manning.
guys,
The league's going quick.
I'm done with the Bears. You know what? I don't care anymore. Now
That's a
we're
direct
talking
quote.
about-
I don't care.
Yeah, direct quote.
Mac Jones is gonna suck. Justin Fields is gonna shake and bake. All right. There you go.
Oh goodness.
Well,
All
I'm
right.
with you, Dodge.
All right, okay, good. You have a good one for the end, and I hope I don't guess it.
Okay,
I'm
well,
not
I'll let you
going to.
guess
There's
it.
a million fucking movies. I don't even know what I'm
Okay.
talking about. But I think a movie that would be a game, a good game, would be Event Horizon.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
Well, that would be actually.
I
Would
think it
be a
would
good
be.
game. It was a fucking
Yeah.
shitty movie, but the premise would
Yep.
fit well in a video game.
It really would. That would be freaking sweet.
It would be sci-fi horror. You know,
They
it
should
would
make
be.
it for the Switch.
It could be first person. I mean, or third person. You know, whatever you want to do
Make
with it.
it
but
third
very
person so Clyde can play. We don't want to make it first
paranormal,
person.
You know,
No
events
first
happening.
person.
You could have kind of Dead Space-ish moments, you know, happen where
That's
you know maybe
exactly
you get some
right.
jump scares, but you know,
Yeah,
you wouldn't even have to be
Dead Space
fighting
should be a
creatures the whole
movie.
time. You could be fighting, you know, visions or what. It could just be a creep game, you know. That'd be
Yeah.
fun.
I think that would
Okay.
be a
Dead Space
great
should be a
video
movie.
game.
That
Well-
should be a movie.
This one I thought was kind of unique. They said that Rockstar Games should make this one based on the GTA style, but do Taxi Driver with Bobby D.
Oh.
I
Okay.
thought that was kind of cool, like a GTA style kind of thing.
So they
Um,
kind of did that though, right? I mean,
With
not
Crazy
Taxi
on
Driving.
Dreamcast.
Crazy Taxi.
There was that game called Driver. There
Yeah,
was
that was similar.
Yeah.
I guess like that type of game. I think would be
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Taxi
This one
Driver,
I
Robert De
think they
Niro.
should. This one they should absolutely do is The Shining.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yep.
That would be neat. I also think they should do this one, Castaway, like a survival.
Are you talking about the fucking Tom Hanks film?
Yeah, I think that would be crazy. Or you could.
That would
A
be the
sandbox
fucking
survival.
worst game ever.
No, it's like a Minecraft, dude, like a sandbox survival.
Oh, it's Steve.
You get caught by the green dude.
Yeah,
Maybe it's all about finding your Wilson. Yeah, you got it.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or just
sounds like
building
a
your
winner.
craft and hitting the
Yeah, building
failing the
craft.
Almighty. You can literally do that.
Literally.
Maybe, yeah, your emotions based on your Wilson or something like that.
You guys are
I
fucking.
think-
Are you listening to yourselves right now?
No, think about it. You could have like a mental psyche on the player.
Yeah,
and, like, when he
exactly,
messes up,
yeah.
like he starts going crazy, and I think it would be cool. A unique idea.
You could almost do it like a roller coaster tycoon style or something, where maybe you're or like Sim City style, but you're.
You know what? Send me the person that wrote
Mine,
this article. Ron, I'm gonna
I will.
send him a letter about that one.
Okay, I will send him a letter. Next one, Inception.
Yes, agreed. 100%.
Inception.
100%.
You could make Inception like in a Alan Wake style, you know,
Sure.
something like that, you know.
I think so too.
And still Mindbender, you know? Oh, yeah, man, yeah.
That's a
That'd be
good
cool.
one. That's a good
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
This one they put on there. I'm like, okay, whatever. But the Dark Knight series, I feel like they've got enough Batmans. But
I mean,
Yeah,
the
I
Batman games, if you haven't played them, are fucking
We got
phenomenal.
Batman games.
I mean, and they're really good.
They're all good. There's a
Yeah.
Batman game on Nintendo that's amazing.
Yeah.
this this one, they think that the Hitman creators should do this one and make it like a stealth style game again, kind of like we talked about Siphon Filter and those kind of feels. Splinter Cell.
I thought I read that they're gonna make that an actual movie.
But
Hitman?
they might be.
What?
Oh yeah, no, they did. They did
Hitman's
years
a
ago.
movie.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But no, but that style of video game, Hitman,
For what movie?
Shawshank Redemption.
Oh.
Jiggly the hooligan.
Oh.
That's a WR. I mean, I think that would be fun.
You
gotta
didn't see
make
where my
trades
other
and get
hand
the
went. I
goodies.
already did a WR.
You got to trade with Siggies and get the goodies, and got to find Red,
Oh my
Man.
god, Red.
and then you
Gotta
got to crawl through the
tunnel?
shit. Yep.
That would be
This-
a good one, right? You need to get your sources over there at EA.
Yep.
Was it Ubisoft? Or
I'll write a
was it
letter.
Square Enix. Could it have been Rockstar? All right.
The next one is they want the people that did like Mafia series, but
Okay.
they want to do Goodfellas.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
whatever.
As long
I
as
thought
you
this-
could get with Goodfellas, if you could get the characters' voices to be in the
To
game,
voice.
that would
that
that'd
would
be
be
cool.
money, right?
sure.
Yeah.
This one I thought would be fun. It reminded me of Infamous, which I thought I had a great time with the Infamous games. But the movie Crank, I never saw it, but
Oh, okay.
where you got to keep the guy alive by
Jason,
was that
Jason Statham. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he's got to like shock his heart, and you got to keep yourself alive throughout the game rather than like trying not to die. You're trying to keep yourself alive.
Yeah.
kind of
Isn't
thing.
that a game mode in Call of Duty? Isn't it called like Crack or something like that?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. or
It's
Crank.
cranked.
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 Well,
Yeah. Yeah.
But I have to say, so the one that there's a couple that I thought about today. I thought that it would be fun to maybe make like an Austin Powers.
Oh, yeah.
You're the international man of mystery, and you go and you do mini missions and meet chicks and drive the British.
what
car around.
happens?
You gotta-
Leisure Suit Larry.
You gotta fight fat bastard.
Yeah. Oh my God. There
Who
you go.
throws a shoe? The guy that throws
Let
the
me
shoe.
ask you this: and that, like, in order to get extra health, would it be the penis enlarging pump?
Yes.
Sharks with laser beams?
Yep. And the more mojo you got, the more accurate you are with your guns
Yep.
and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be
We're
fun.
in a good spot here to introduce this. Rod, you
It's an amazing idea. You know how many sharks with laser beams would be in that game that you're fighting?
And imagine
Like-
if you could control the dialogue. You could just say,
You could do
yeah,
it
baby,
swimming level.
whenever.
Yeah.
What are we introducing, Jay? You got green
Yeah,
screen
baby.
going on here. For those that are listening on the audio side of this, there is a green screen. So we're gonna have to describe. It's another thing we got to
What
get
is
better
this?
at is
It's a t-shirt,
describing
bait
about
and
this.
tackle, Big Johnson. What are we doing here?
Is this an actual
What is
website,
this?
Big Johnson Bait and Tackle?
Yes, I remember those. You get them. You get the T-shirts at like the
so
Wisconsin Dells.
I'm hoping that you brought that up and you reach out to them for our next sponsorship.
Did you go to BigJohnson.com?
Yeah. There they are, man. Tell them, hey, couple shirts, and we'll start the show with Big Johnsons every time.
Yep.
Hey,
We're a gaming podcast, and I know you're about bait and tackle, but I think it's
dude,
yeah, it's
hell,
great
you know I
synergies.
fish, and I'm about to be fishing up at the lake in 2 months. How do you do? So
All right.
yeah, reach out.
But those were so the one
All
that
right,
I
give
saved.
me the last one, right?
The one that I saved. Event Horizon was on the list.
Did you
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, it was. It was number 5. of games that should or movies that should be games.
I'm telling you, it was such a fucking shitty movie, but like that would play.
This is what it says. It has been a while since a sci-fi horror game like Dead Space has made its way to consoles and PC. This is why an Event Horizon game seems like a great way not only to fill that gap, but also give gamers a look at one of the wackiest sci-fi movies ever.
Sponsored by Big Johnson.
You know, it started making me think though, could you imagine like some of the movies like Liar Liar and having it a video game or like Cable Guy?
Any of the
it makes you think about different movies that could be games that might be kind of unique to think about, you know?
You're right, man.
I wrote a couple more down. I don't remember what they were, but yeah, it was kind of a cool little list. I had fun with that.
That is awesome. It's
good stuff.
That's a knee slapper segment.
That is what we have for you this week. Next week, just to kind of give you a heads up, we're doing so tonight is the NFL draft, and Ryan and I, for those of you that do know, we used to just crunch numbers for hours, and it was just, we love drafting. So we're going to do our own draft next week, but we are going to draft our starting lineup for like our video game lineup based on which ones we think are the best rated in history kind of thing. We're gonna each pick 12 games. We have a scoring system set up that we'll explain for you next week, and we're gonna do the draft and see who accumulates the best score, and that's going to be the winning person. It's going to be a good time.
Oh, it's going to be great times. It'll be good.
And when you guys crunched though, like you play it off so mildly. It's like when we would have those 6-hour game sessions, 8-hour game sessions, like you're waving your arm, drafting for 8 hours. And what the show MLB
it was
the show,
MLB
right?
the show, and all we would do for those so crunch meant just fantasy draft on MLB the show, and all we wouldn't play a game. We would just draft our squads and simulate the season, and then just make rosters. So we were essentially GMs.
Listen, we're going to have an episode on the crunch. That's has to happen.
Yep.
It has to happen because it was a phenomenon.
And I got to hear it.
I could get hours in on multiple different types of games while you guys would go through 3 seasons of crunch, and you would plan we would set it across days where it was just like, all right, we're gaming this weekend, and we do other things like go to the bar or something, you know? But we're talking like a span of 3 days. You guys are crunching numbers.
Yep. We have our notepads and manila folders.
That's going to be a good episode. We'll check out next week. We're also going to be doing that draft and kind of giving you guys our game updates as well. I also want to mention something, Ryan. I forgot to mention this to you, and I hope this is cool. But Nick Naru's our first guest that was on the first show. He was talking to me, and he just absolutely loved being here. And we chatted for a while. He was like, "Man, it was so much fun." And he just asked me the other day, so I just kind of want to give a plug for him because he's a good friend of ours. But he asked me if I wanted to do album reviews on a podcast for Toad Hall. And him and I guess he gave me a list of stuff I'm going to listen to that's like new releases of stuff. He said every week they get new vinyl, and there's always like the top 3 that people are anticipating, but he's like there's like a bunch of really good music that no one's heard of, and him and I are going to be doing that, so keep an eye out for that. I hope that's cool that I say that on there, right? But I know I think he would appreciate that, you know.
Nah, it's not. We're going to edit it out.
Edit it out. Yeah, no, I figured it was fine. But so yeah, we'll keep you posted on that though, because Nick is a good man. If you haven't listened to the interview with Nick Naru's on the first episode, please go back and check it out. Really cool, interesting stuff. So, but yeah, good times, guys. Next week, I'm excited. I already got my first couple that I'm going to think of picking. So,
thank you for the brothers.
Wait, we don't know the list or anything?
No, we don't know the list. Nobody knows the list.
So we could just get a big goose egg on something that we pick.
Listen, Dodge. All I'm saying is, and Jay, you need to listen to this too, because you don't know how to crunch. You never crunched with the pros.
Right.
Baby crunch games.
I mean, what's the parameter? What's the list of the
Here's what I
greatest
got.
games of all time?
So Clay and I, we talked about this whole thing and how we're going to do it. So Clay's going to join us. So he's going to be a fifth person that's going to draft alongside of us because he also wants to talk to Retz about Horizon Zero Dawn. He wants to get his thoughts on it. So
Yeah,
I think it'll be cool.
It, right?
That's correct.
So he's going to be a part of the draft.
I'm going to bring him on as a guest. He also wants to complain that we stole his gamer ID as the name of our podcast. He wants to complain.
Tell him tell him we won't charge him now to be friends.
That's fine.
I think he has a legitimate argument there.
We swear.
Yeah, he
So
probably
I
does.
can't wait to hear it. But he had one of his programmer buddies who is excellent at coding. And so what this guy did was he took the top 50 games, created a code based on criteria on game units sold will be the point factor. So none of us will know how many units of this game were sold because there's different factors that go into this. So if you guys were to just research and kind of cheat and figure out like what are the top.
No, but I get you because you're talking so many different consoles, so many different platforms, so many different eras of.
See, but I don't know.
Yep.
Is it only video gaming, or is it?
Yes, video games. Video. What do you mean? What's your?
Well, because now I'm worried, is it going to start counting some of like slots, not slot stuff, but like stuff you see in bars, or, video gaming, No? Okay.
What consumers could purchase as a video game, right? So like pinball machines are out, arcade games are out, all of that.
Isn't that just going to be, like the last 4 Call of Duties on top 10?
So good thing you brought that up. No, so he siphoned anything that would be like, if anybody picked that, it would just destroy everybody because that would clearly be like, so like the number one game would have been Fortnite. And so he removed that from the list because if any one of you would have chose it, it wouldn't have mattered how many games you guys would have, like the 10 that we would have selected, whoever had Fortnite in their list automatically would win. So he made it, the algorithm that's built makes it so all of the games are, the playing field's basically even. It's just going to be a set number of 50 games or 60 games. There'll be 5 of us. We'll pick 10 apiece, and it's going to be a random draft order.
So the top games won't necessarily be in there though. Because if you're removing things like Fortnite, you're removing things like the actual top.
Here's the beauty. I have no idea what the game board's going to be. Like what the board of list of games that is going to be there, I have no idea what's in that. There could be a Call of Duty in there. There could be a, Pokemon.
I got to change up my strategy.
Randomly or got rid of the... Okay, I see what you're... Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking just like
the point system will be based off of unit sales, which I think was smart. It'll be the easiest way to factor who wins. Yeah. But we don't know.
I see, because I guess that would remove Fortnite because Fortnite doesn't necessarily have unit sales. They have in-game purchases.
He took out anything that was going to be way over, right? Like anything that was just like ridiculous that if anybody drafted it would have been an automatic win. So he was like, no, we're going to remove that. So he took so basically, yes, there's games that have certain values, but they're all within a certain amount of one another. Obviously, some are higher, some are lower, because otherwise we wouldn't be able to determine a winner based on that system, that point system. But I think it'll be cool, and it'll be all games that we all recognize, and we'll do a game draft.
Sounds good.
All right. I'm in. I still think I got some good ideas. So.
I think you do. So
I think we're actually going to pick a lot of the same ones, probably.
No, we won't, because once they come off the board, they're done. Like you can't pick that game.
Right. True. Draft. Yeah, draft.
It's a draft.
So how many rounds are we doing?
So the way that I think we should do this is, we could do 12, we could do 10, we could do, whatever.
10.
I think 10, we'll have a pool of 60 games. There's 5 of us. We each get to pick 10, so that's 50 games will come off. That'll leave 10 kind of floating out there as free agents. How do you do?
I'm going to have to come up with a major list, and that list might still not suffice.
Exactly. And I love it because none of us know. And here's the beauty about it. Clay doesn't even know, and it's his buddy because his buddy has a password-protected sheet that will not allow us to see anything until after the draft is done. He told Clay, text me,
That
and
guy
I'll send
jiggles
you.
Cords, doesn't he?
Oh, he's a cord jiggler.
Yep.
But I love it.
He's the guy.
I love it. I
No,
love
that
it.
sounds awesome. I think that's cool. That sounds like a lot of fun. I'm excited for that. That'll be a good time.
Yeah, it'll be a great time. So we'll get that fired up for everybody next week. That'll be
Oh, Jay got it.
There it is, the Xbox.
Hasn't even opened it.
I don't know if I like how it looks.
Oh, I do miss Halo. I will say, out of naysaying Xbox, Halo times. I miss Halo.
It's a baby game.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to be playing a shitload of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You won't be
All
as
I know
good
is my money is also on me.
No, my brother. No one will beat my brother. My brother will disappear.
Oh, I'm not talking about Halo. I'm talking about this little, whatever this little thing we're doing is, where we pick games.
You don't even know what we're talking
wait a
about.
minute.
There's no way you're gonna win.
Yes, I will. If we're talking about the best games and rankings,
So
That's not what we're talking
I'm
about.
winning.
Do we
That's
do?
not what we have.
Hold on. Do we
Well,
do?
I don't care what it is. I'm going to win it.
Have to play a choice, and it's kind of.
Ooh, I like it. So say it again, right?
So winner gets to pick a Gibby game for each of us to play, like a bad Gibby.
So winner
No,
gets to
fuck
choose.
that. I'm done doing Gibby games.
You
I'm
didn't
not
even
playing
play the
games.
Gibby game that you. I played more than the game that you made me buy.
Jay,
I
you
played
haven't
more
touched
than.
the Gibby.
Yes, you haven't even touched the Gibby game.
Exactly, and I just sold the PlayStation, so I ain't ever going to touch it.
Jay, it was your idea, wasn't it?
Yes, it was his idea. So yes, Rye, that's exactly what we're going to do.
Are you secretly saying you didn't like Resident Evil? It was a Gibby game.
No, Dodge. Don't you remember? Rye and Jay they bought each other a crappy game, like a Gibby game.
Oh yeah. Okay.
What was the one you had
What
to
are you
play?
talking
Rye?
about crappy game? That's Rye's favorite show.
It's a great
Peaky
show.
Blinders
Should have
game?
never been put into the game. And the
Peaky
game,
Blinders.
yes, and the game. It's a great show. It's a phenomenal series. If you haven't seen it, Netflix, go get it. 5 seasons. How do you do? But I don't even remember what I got Jay. It was a fucking shitty ass game, and he said he was gonna play it. He never even played a single minute of it. Second, didn't even install it. Nothing. Probably didn't even buy it, and I wound up having to buy mine for $14.99.
He hid it in the closet with the shower on. Trick.
That's exactly right.
If they have it on Xbox, I'll play it. I'll look on Switch too. If it's on Switch, I'll play it.
It's called like Never Remember or something.
Yeah, I'll have to look it up, but I'll find it. It's
All right,
World
well-
War II team.
All right, we're done.
That'll
here.
that'll be good. We'll start that
Doesn't
up.
matter. I'm winning. This is all
Okay,
me.
well then you have nothing to worry about. Then you should start picking games for us.
No, I'm going to give you guys good games that you need to play. Like Dodge is getting
That's your
Devil
choice.
May Cry. You're getting
yeah.
Mass Effect, and Rye's getting any game I think of because he hasn't played shit.
I played,
Dead
I really want to give
played
someone
Dead
Doom.
Space.
Doom
I have
Eternal.
played Dead Space.
Do it, Dodge. So if you win, that you can give that to somebody.
That's my.
I like this. I like it.
Winner's
Well, don't
choice.
give it to me because I'm already going to play it at some point. So
Yeah, I know
Winner's
you.
choice.
Well, maybe you will. I don't know. Yeah, winner's choice.
We're gonna
Okay.
just.
Think of that.
If
yeah.
anybody, if Jay, whoever's the winner, just needs to give Jay that game that he was supposed to play beforehand, that he never played. That's what he has to play. It's called like the Thin Red Line or something. What's it called?
No, that's a movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is a movie, isn't it? Whatever.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for the breadies. We're done here.
Yep. Thank you for the breadies.
Thanks for the breadies.